'Cause baby, now we got bad blood, you know.
Hello lions, lionesses and lion cubs, and welcome to episode 3 of Just Mezzing Around. We've had some positive feedback in the Facebook chat from some previous past players of the cricket club, namely Matt from Moe Lincoln up in Canberra, Matt in Moe Webber in Fowler Street, and the Chief over in the Principality of Mark McGowan. Hello to you all, and I'm glad you're enjoying the superseded product of the Lion's Den. In episode 3 of Just Mezzing Around, we have a club stalwart to speak to in Garry Edwards. Garry, I'd like to welcome you to Just Mezzing Around. Thanks for giving up the time. First of all, nicknames. The obvious Gaz, Gazar, Gazwa. Wait, had a bit of a think about him.
Yeah.
Skippy.
What's that, do you think?
Well, I'm asking you.
Maybe my bowling action?
Yes, yes. What else? Have I missed any?
Yeah, well, it's the other one's a bit under wraps. It was a Treff thing, and
Tell us.
I didn't want too many people to know about this one.
It's good.
But it's the Wizard, yes.
Why the Wizard?
Well, there's nothing the Wizard can't do.
I like that. It's good.
And that's why they give it to me.
Yeah, when I heard the Wizard, I thought, what the hell's that about? That's a ripper. That's fantastic. So, still celebrating the Brisbane Lions Premiership?
Oh, certainly. It's great. Waiting for all the memorabilia to turn up.
You've been a Fitzroy supporter for a long time, and
Yeah,
obviously
forever. Yep.
forever. 1993 comes to mind. You and I had a bet on a Richmond Fitzroy game in the Foster's Cup. We had half a dozen beers on it. Richmond won. And I'm still waiting for the
Yeah,
beers.
the Foster's Cup, that doesn't count. I can give you Foster's if you like.
Now, Gaz, from memory, you played your junior cricket at Willow Grove. Have I got that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And how did you end up in Moe? Because we played cricket against each other at the same time as a junior. How did you end up in Moe?
Willow Grove folded basically for a year or two. So I basically played all my junior through Willow Grove as I went to primary school in Moe. Peter Flahaven was a teacher. So he loaded up his station wagon every weekend and filled it up and took us all to the cricket. So
Fair enough.
played a couple of years of senior cricket there, then yeah, they folded, so I come here.
And at the same time, we were sort of straight into seniors with Craig Robertson was another player at about that time who came to Moe.
Yeah, Robbo's my age, yep.
Good mate of yours, and Gary and Paul Cake were around at the same time. So it's a long time ago, late 80s, I think I counted.
Yeah, it is. Late 80s into the 90s at Moe.
Second 11 premiers at Moe, second year at the club. I think it was 1989-90 under Rob Warren.
Yes.
Good years.
A reserve, that was then.
A reserve it was too.
2 years I played at Moe. The first 2 years we played in 2 grand finals in A reserve.
Now I think the first one was a bit of a shellacking.
Yeah, Gary Blanchard was the captain.
Yeah, that was at Northern Reserve. I remember that game.
I think we made 50 that day, didn't we?
Chasing 300.
Yeah, I think so. Number 9 made 100 for them, for Muller.
That's right. So second 11 premiership, fantastic. Then we sort of went into A grade and played a fair bit of A grade, and you played A grade at Moe for about 5 or 6 years. And I think from memory, saw greener pastures at Trafalgar for a bit more of an opportunity.
Yeah, look, it was funny playing a bit of cricket early at Moe. He was just an A reserve sort of B grade type cricketer and didn't really take it too serious, liked a beer and whatnot. But George Munro came along and yeah, basically got me interested, and he probably really turned my career around. Very good captain. It's actually George works with us now. I gave him a job 3 years ago. So
very good.
But no, he's good. And basically, when he finished, Lino took over, and that was my bowling opportunities out the window with Lino. So unfortunately, he was such a great bowler. He probably bowled 25, 30 overs a game. So it counted me out.
Fantastic player, Lino, and yeah, very good captain was George. Now, from memory, I was on the committee when you asked to go to Trafalgar, and I don't know if you remember, but in those times, the clubs always made it hard for someone to get a clearance. I remember that Rob Sims said, no, let's give him a clearance, let's not stand in his way, and we may get him back one day. We got you back eventually. Took probably a bit longer than we want. You had how many years at Trafalgar?
I think I played 9 or 10. Yeah, Traff.
And enjoyed your time down there?
Yeah, I loved it down there. They were good. I actually played footy with a few of the guys at Traff, so that's why I went down there originally, and then just sort of filtered through there. Pretty good. Any cricket club, let's be honest, it's pretty good fun. Have a few beers and have a bit of a joke.
14 years at Trafalgar is there what our stats show us.
Yeah, probably the last 3 or 4 years of those, it was just probably played a couple of games in B grade every now and then.
Now, have we got your stats from our correspondent at Trafalgar? Thank you, Liam. 136 A grade games, 4 years as A grade captain, and A grade best and fairest in 2004-5 and 2006-7, which also happened to be a premiership year.
Yeah.
So best and fairest, captain, and in the premiership year. Is it?
I wasn't the captain of the premiership. I was a vice captain.
Don't ruin a good story with the truth.
I could have taken it, but
3,000 runs at the club and 100, funnily enough, against Newborough. Now,
yeah, well, that doesn't really count, does it?
of course, they all count. What grounds? Can you remember?
Yeah, it was at Traf.
At Traf. Nice stinking hot day.
Yeah, yeah.
No
Good
a
start.
time.
Good start. Got the iron pretty early with Randall bowling his off leg spinners.
Beautiful.
I think he hit 5 off. I was thinking it was 20 off 5 balls. That was away.
You were. And so 100, 16 50s shows you could bat. With the ball, 242 A grade wickets, now third all time at Trafalgar. So that's a fantastic achievement, mate, because it's a pretty old club.
Must have just got overtaken, did I? Because I was second.
You were second. Bugger.
Yeah. Jackson Noonan just taken me, I think.
Yeah. Eight times you've got 5 A grade wickets, and your best bowling was 8 for 35 versus the groupers. Now, can you remember where that was?
That was at Maul Turf.
At Maul Turf. Was she doing a bit?
Oh, well, I'll never forget that week because we were all out for about 120 the week before. They were none for 15 going into the next second week. 35 degree heat Thursday, Friday. Saturday morning they left the covers off. A big thunderstorm come through. We bowled them out for 67. It was great.
Can't help bad luck.
No, bad luck was.
Now, I've talked about the Division 1 Premiership. Now we're going to talk about a bit of your Country Week career, because we spent a bit of time down at the show, as Craig Robbo used to call it, in February when we were playing against each other, but also for Moe and Trafalgar, and then came together for Central Gippsland. They were good times at Country Week. We played against some pretty good players.
Yes.
We played on some pretty good pitches, and we played with probably a lack of sleep, which sometimes can happen when you're down at the show. But
very light sleeper. Yeah.
But that's part and parcel of a week down at the show. I do have a funny memory of you fetching a ball that I had bowled, but I reckon you might tell the story better than I do.
I vaguely remember it though, but it did go down Arden Street out of the ground. We had to go down a little bit. Stopped traffic, did it? There were some big sixes hit down Country Week. You always played on one of the end wickets, so yeah, there were some big boys that could hit some big balls out in the street.
That day we were playing Bairnsdale on the Tuesday, and at Arden Street the pitch runs north-south, but the ground runs east-west, so the pitches, the boundary's straight, are short. I've bowled it trying to keep it tight. This bloke's playing his first A-grade game, smashed me out of the ground, the ball's bounced on the cobblestones, gone over the fence, down the street. I'm not real happy. Garry fetches the ball after it seems like about 3 or 4 minutes, throws the ball to me and says, couldn't find the ball. This lady drove past, stopped, went her window down and says, if you're looking for the ball, it's just gone down the street a bit further. And when Garry said that to me, I just couldn't help but laugh and say that was my recollection. I reckon I might have it pretty close.
Oh, I can't remember, but I do remember fetching the ball.
So you've been back at Moe now for how many years?
That's a great question. I think I come back when Hayden was under 12, so that's, what's he now? He'll be under 9, is he about 7 or 8 years?
Yeah, okay, so Hayden is the reason you're back at the club?
Yeah, look, we started playing his juniors down at Traf, but his junior footy was at Moe, and a lot of the kids he played junior footy with played cricket here. So we come back and did that. Young Andy Daly and Hayden come back and played here. So, and we started from there.
Excellent. The club's happy to have you back. So now we're going to talk a bit about your stats at Moe.
Yep.
Obviously, you spent a fair bit of time at Trafalgar in the middle, but you're coming up to 1,500 runs. So you want to get 34 runs this weekend to crack 1,500 runs for the club.
Yeah, if I don't get 34, we're in trouble, I reckon.
500 A grade runs, 2 centuries in second grade, 86 wickets, 34 in A grade with a best of 4 for 12. I reckon that might have been on a damp barrage.
Yeah, either that or racecourse, one of the two. It was on turf.
Yeah, okay. 3 5-wicket hauls with a best of 5 for 5. Now, who was the 5 for 5 against?
That was against Moe High, I remember that.
Whereabouts?
It was actually at Northern Reserve.
Really?
The two Summos had made hundreds a week before. I got them both out for ducks.
Now, on a serious note, The summer of 2019 was not a good summer in Australia, especially on the east coast. And I remember Caney contacting me saying, we're short of players this week and it was the last round before Christmas. Can you play? And I said, yeah, 35 degrees. Thanks very much. Yeah, I'll help you out. Now, you were one of the players who was unavailable that week because you're taking your caravan to Mallacoota, if I'm right, and getting set up for your camping trip.
Yeah.
Little did we know what would eventuate a few weeks later. So if you want to talk about your experience about the Mallacoota bushfires and just tell us a bit about what it's like to experience, because I'm sure no one would have an idea.
No, look, it was something, it's unbelievable. Like, luckily, very minimal deaths. I think there were 2 deaths actually, as it turned out. But the whole town was at the mercy of the fire, to be quite honest. 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, it's pitch black, which turned into red. You just hear an explosion after explosion, gas bottles, you know, with the extreme heat. We've got our car with a boat, car with the caravan, just at the mercy of whatever. Just had to, you didn't know what was happening. We spent the night before with another young couple from Warrigal in the car. Me and the other husband were taking shift shifts, hosing each other's car while we can try to sleep. One of the other cars, because he actually went up, and we said, bugger this, we've got to go up and get a car to sleep in, because we had nowhere to sleep. So we're all down the foreshore. Yeah, it was pretty full on, but be quite honest with you, not in any time did I think we're going to have any issue within, as in life or anything like that. It was just, everyone was surrounded. I think there was 4,000 people down the main boat ramp, to be quite honest. And they'd gone through the fireys, had gone through what's going to happen if the fire comes. They're going to make this big circle of fire trucks and just hose everyone and so forth. But everyone was everyone was just waiting just for something to happen. And luckily, the wind changed and blew the fire the other side.
So how long was this waiting game that you played?
Oh, look, we got evacuated down to the foreshore at about 9:30 so it must have been the 30th, I think. And we just waited till probably, the worst of it was probably 10 o'clock the next morning. So it was over 12 hours just sitting there waiting for something to happen. Now, like I said, all you could hear was this explosion after explosion and whatnot, and just waiting. And then even when the danger cleared, or you just looked over the other side of the lake, and there was just houses, just fires swapping from house to house, the gas bottles exploding again, and some sheds are burning, some they've missed, and it was just unbelievable, to be quite honest.
So that was the day of the 31st?
Yes.
And you were marooned there for a little bit of period of time, weren't you?
Yeah, well, they got the Navy in. They had to get everyone out by the Friday, because this was from memory, I think it was a Tuesday night, New Year's Eve. So they tried to get everyone out on the 3rd, because there was another front coming and another fire expected on the Saturday. So they tried to get everyone out. So they had, as you probably all know about it, they had the Navy boats taking people out and so forth. We were lucky enough in a small caravan park. Look, we've been going there for 15 years, and the same people go there. One of the guys knew people from Paynesville. He drove his boat the night before to Paynesville, picked up another couple of guys with boats, come back and took 30 of us back the next morning. So we were quite lucky. We were back to Paynesville before noon. The Navy boat took 20 hours to get from Mallacoota to I think it took us 5.
So your car, caravan and boat were stuck in Mallacoota for how long?
On Australia Day, we got a plane out of Essendon Airport. It was actually quite good going in there. One of those Army or Air Force planes, one of the little ones, held about probably 45 people, and landed in Mallacoota Airport. Drove us to the caravan park, picked up our stuff, and drove home.
Okay.
Very, very eerie drive back from the airport from Mallacoota to the caravan park. It was just, everything was just flat and burnt out.
So that was January and February of 2020, and then the world changed, and so you've seen some pretty strange occurrences within a couple of months of your life.
Well, as a construction supplier with my employment, we lost all our masks for the fires, and then the big COVID hit. So they were like gold. So they had to use all the masks around from everywhere through the state for the bushfires. and now COVID hit, and they're trying after all these masks again. They were so hard to come by. So it was, yeah.
And have you been back to Mallacoota?
Go back every Boxing Day for 2 weeks. The year after the fires, we went back there. Channel 9 were at our caravan park. So we had 2 New Years. Every New Year's Mallacoota, we dress up as a theme and so forth. And the theme of the fires was Santa, dress up as Santa Claus and so forth. So we actually did the same theme the year after, but we actually had 2 New Year's Eve because Channel 9 wanted to film the one at 9 o'clock. So we started earlier, absolutely big day, and had a 9 o'clock New Year's Eve, and then we hung on for another 3 hours and had another one. So it was, quite good.
Excellent. And I'm thinking you'll be heading back there again soon.
Yeah, we'll be back again. So it's all booked in again. So
fantastic.
Go, but
well, thank you for reliving that bad memory. But the good thing is that most people survived, and the people who you were with were all okay, and most people got their belongings back. It was treacherous time in Victoria's history. I want to thank you very much for being guinea pig number 3 for Just Mezzing Around.
No worries.
And reliving some good memories of your time involved in the game. Thanks very much, Gaz.
I appreciate the easier questions. Thanks.